To the world, they are statues, silent, unmoving, the epitome of discipline and duty. But behind the stone facades, there are stories untold. And sometimes, the weight of the world is too much to bear. In a world where they must hold their ground, where emotion is forbidden, they are left to carry their grief in silence. The duty they swear to uphold demands perfection, unyielding, stoic, and without flaw. But beneath that surface, the human heart aches. They are seen by thousands, yet remain invisible. They are expected to be perfect, to stand as symbols of unwavering strength. But even the strongest walls crack. Grief is a heavy burden. For some, it never leaves. For those who serve, it becomes a quiet companion. And sometimes, breaking character isn't just about letting go. It's about survival. We wear our guilt like armor, believing it will protect us. But it's the heaviest weight of all, the kind that can't be cast aside by strength alone. When the walls come down, when the guards break character, they discover something they've long forgotten: the power of connection, the strength that comes from sharing the burden with another. It is in these moments of vulnerability, in the quiet surrender, that healing begins. For even the strongest must break to find their way back to the light. And when the guard breaks, when they finally let the world see what they carry inside, they find a strength greater than the one they wore before. For it is not the shield we wear that makes us strong, but the courage to be vulnerable. When we allow ourselves to shed the weight of what others expect, we find a freedom we never knew we had. In that moment, we are no longer bound by duty or tradition, but by the truth of who we are. The strength we seek is not always in silence, in stoic endurance. Sometimes, it's in the simple act of reaching out, of saying, "I need help," or "I'm not okay." And in that vulnerability, we find the courage to rise again. The duty remains, but the weight of it has shifted. For in embracing the fragility of their hearts, these men have found strength that cannot be broken. The world may still expect perfection, but they no longer strive to meet those demands. Instead, they choose to be present, to be human, to be real. And in that freedom, they have discovered a simple truth. Sometimes the greatest strength is in letting go. Letting go of the mask, letting go of the armor, letting go of the belief that to be strong, we must never break. And in that simple message, a new chapter begins, one of healing, of growth, and of strength, found not in silence, but in the courage to speak, to feel, and to live. For it is not in the strength to endure the unspoken that we find our true power. It is in the willingness to break character and embrace what is real that we discover our truest selves. When we break the masks we wear, we sometimes fear we'll lose ourselves. But in truth, we find who we truly are, beneath the weight of expectations. And when we do, we're finally able to take a deep breath and live. In a world that constantly demands perfection, those who dare to show their cracks, their flaws, their humanity, they become the strongest of all. For it is in vulnerability, in truth, that we find our deepest strength. We live for so many things: duty, honor, expectation. But at the end of the day, it is the simple act of being present, of allowing ourselves to feel, to heal, that brings us peace. And sometimes, in the stillness, we find the most powerful connection of all. When we let go of what others expect us to be, we finally have the chance to be who we are meant to be. And in that freedom, we discover the strength to live our truth, not as soldiers or guards, but as the people we were always meant to become. The world moves fast, doesn't it? We're so focused on what's next, on what we're supposed to do, that we forget to stop and simply be. But sometimes all it takes is a moment to break free from the noise, to shed the weight of the world, and to truly breathe. In moments like these, we realize that life isn't about the grand gestures, the duty, or the expectations. It's about the small moments, the ones that pass unnoticed. It's about being fully present. In those moments, we rediscover who we truly are. Sometimes, we can't see the changes happening inside us, but they're there, beneath the surface, slowly shifting us into something we never imagined. It's in the quiet spaces, the places where we stop and take a breath, that we finally see ourselves for who we truly are. And in that simple choice, to live, to step out of the roles they've been playing for so long, they begin to uncover the greatest treasure of all, the beauty of being present. In the end, we learn that the greatest moments of our lives aren't the ones that are scripted, that we've been trained for. They are the moments we choose to live, to feel, to embrace the unexpected. For when we break character, when we stop pretending to be something we're not, we finally give ourselves permission to live the life we were always meant to live. The world doesn't change when we decide to break character. It's how we see it that changes. We learn that life isn't about hiding behind walls. It's about tearing them down, step by step, and embracing the unpredictability of being human. The beauty of breaking character isn't in the moment itself. It's in the liberation that comes after. The freedom to live without fear. The ability to move through the world as we are, not as we think we must be. And in this realization,